Brian Brown laid waste to the field in the heat race and was able to earn that front row starting spot. Zach Zeigen has also been extremely strong all season long as the green flag is underway, and they just go 3 wide through 1 and 2 like it's nothing. Cody Frazen looking to the inside of the ditch digger, unable to make that line stick as Zach Zeigen gets a little squirtly off of turn 2. All of that allows Brian Brown to get out in front by 0.6 seconds after lap 1. Zeigen still continues to track him down, though, as he slides up in front of Justin Russell. Russell, a late model driver, making the move into a street stock here this evening as Brian Brown leads lap number 2, and they are side by side for second back behind him.
Zach Zeigen in the 888 of Justin Russell battling for second place. Watch Zeigen lift up that driver's side tire. This time, though, he has to lift off. That time, Russell gets around him, takes over the number 2 spot. But Zeigen, Shane, in the heat races, like Brian Brown is here, carrying that front tire the whole way.
Well, Brian Brown, last time he went through 3 and 4, he made that a lot more interesting than what it should have been for a battle in the top spot as he drifted high on the track, and that really opened the door for Justin Russell.
We'll put the hammer down as we go to green flag racing.
And Brown has been bad fast all night long. Could not get a win on the season. Whenever you look at his numbers throughout the year, he only had 1 top 5, and he is about ready to give up that lead position to Justin Russell. Russell, pilot of the 88, loses control over in turn 4. He gets a little slap happy, and all of a sudden he goes from a fight for first to trying to just salvage second place right now as Zach Zeigen on the outside. Cody Frazen in that 04 machine right on the back bumper. You got the ditch digger back there in the number 94, and then Dylan Devlin, first time ever that red number 26 is ran here at Lucas Oil Speedway. He is vying for a top 5 spot.
Well, Dylan told you between he and his dad, Gene, it's a coin flip on any night which one's going to run better, and it looks like the younger Devlin drew the right side of the coin here tonight, as now there's continued action up front as Brown has given up some running room, and here comes the 888. Russell on a rail around the bottom of the track.
You say here comes the 888, here comes the 888, the 04, the 35, the 69 is now in a battle for the lead, a 4-car battle, and here comes Devlin. He makes it a 5-car race out in front. 17 more times around, a 25-lap feature here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks, and Justin Russell, like he shot out of a cannon, to borrow a phrase from you, goes flying off of turn 2, takes the lead, gets squirrely himself off of turn 4. 3 cars make contact back behind him as Brown, Frazen, and Zeigen all go side by side, rubbing the doors, and the paint comes off the doors off of those 3 cars.
They're going to be 3 across through 3 and 4. Russell, Brown, and Cody Frazen, who's been a race winner here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks earlier this season. The Lamont, Missouri driver drops back into 3rd as Russell and Brown get a run off of the turn, but here comes Frazen again. Door handle to door handle with the 69 of Brown. Lamont, Missouri driver with that preferred line. He will hold on to the 2nd spot. And Shane, that 888 all of a sudden has jumped out and has a 4 or 5 car length advantage over the field. A little bit of breathing room now for Justin Russell.
Yeah, Russell has gotten out in front of Cody Frazen, and what was a 4 or a 5 car battle for that top spot has now turned into a 1-car breakaway as Justin Russell, a late model driver, behind the wheel, and that's not even his car. The 888 is usually driven by Darren Turner out of Hartsburg, Missouri, but Justin Russell trying to get that thing dialed in for the Big Buck 50 coming up a little later on in the season in October, is now piloting that car and has his hands full out in front as he is starting to pull away from the contingency that is back behind him, getting really racy even deeper in the field, as it is side-by-side for 3rd, side-by-side for 4th, and the ditch digger, Kenny Carroll, now off the track as he takes the hard right-hand turn. Boy, what a job by the 69 to stay out in front for as long as he was. Brian Brown was unable to hang on to it as he has now drifted back where he was in 1st. Now he just clings to a 5th place as he is now going to have that position fall by the wayside as Dylan Devlin gets around him in the 26D.
Devlin, a four-time winner at Tri-State, his first race here, and he is vying for a top 5 finish as he wheels it around the 69 of Brian Brown, securing that number 5 spot here with 9 laps to go. Devlin trying to run away from Brown now as Russell continues to run away from the field. Shane, a 2.5-second lead now for the 888.
And give a call to that number 21 you saw there in your screen momentarily, Ted Walshmeyer, who started back in 15th. He has now worked himself up into a 7th place run. He's looking to the inside of Brian Brown. That is trying to take away that 6th position. And then up front, Kevin Salter, who also started deep in the field. He has gotten around the 35 of Zach Zigan. He now is looking at a podium finish as he has worked up to 3rd. So it's Justin Russell out in front, Cody Frazen in 2nd, and then Salter, who just got around Zach Zigan, has to lift as he gets a little out of control on the backstretch, and Zigan pulls right up on his back bumper again.
Zigan had a top 3 finish here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks earlier this season, and that car was crazy fast in the heat races. A massive power plant underneath the 35Z, but right now Kevin Salter continues to hold on the spot now as Zigan comes off his line and tries his hand a little bit further out. Shane, we talked about it earlier in the night as now Salter almost loses it there in turn number 2. It snaps back, and that opens the door for Zigan.
A number of cars all in that group there with Zigan to the outside of Salter. And then you've got Dylan Devlin in the 26, trying to work up into that as well. Welshmeyer has lost a couple of spots as we're now down to 4 laps left in this 25-lap feature. But Russell still out in front. He has now built it up to a 3.5-second advantage over Cody Frazen last time by. Now it's up to 4.5 seconds.
Russell just on a rail right now, and lap traffic becoming an issue for him as he keeps the 888 out in front, comes off of turn number 4, and he's just got 2 laps remaining between him and a feature win here on Labor Day weekend.
So for Justin Russell, it was all about biding his time as he started back outside row 2 in 4th. Brian Brown led the opening portion of the race, but it was Justin Russell who just sat back, waited for his time to work his way through the field in that 4 and 5 car battle for the lead. He got out in front, and he has checked out. Final time around, turns 3 and 4. Typically drives a late model, borrows a car, and comes out and wins here on Labor Day weekend.
Line Patience of Virtue looks to be a good start this time as Logan Martin will lead the way down into turn number 1 with Jake Neal up on the top side cushion, but it's going to be Martin taking the early race lead, but you got contact back for 4th and 5th. Disaster of diverted between J.C. Wyman and Jeremy Grady as the battle goes on for the race lead out of turn number 4. It's going to be Logan Martin showing the way here on lap number 1. Logan Martin, Jake Neal tuck in line. First 2 down the back straightaway now. Chad Simpson up into the 3rd spot. And a pleasant surprise, the 9 machine of Joe Gorby finds himself running in the 4th position. The driver out of Bartlesville, Oklahoma, started back to the inside of row number 4. And quickly, Gorby up inside the top 4. He is looking to the inside of Chad Simpson.
Gorby's had a consistent run this year, 6 top 10s for him, and showing a little bit of that here tonight.
Showing a little bit, and that's a guy that's had a lot of struggles, had a motor change earlier in the week in that 9 car, and really kind of had some up and down season in his first full season with the MLRA Series, potentially looking for a career best run here early on tonight. As he chases down that 3rd spot, will now set his sights on the 14 car of second running Jake Neal. A little bit further back in the pack, you see Jesse Stovall working over the back bumper on J.C. Wyman's car number 4 as they approach turn number 3 and 4. Those drivers battling for the 5th and 6th position as they exit turn number 4. Now beginning to make some ground up on Chad Simpson. J.C. Wyman, he'll dive down to the inside. He will steal that spot away from the Mount Vernon, Iowa driver, car number 25. Both drivers tiptoeing the bottom side, working their way around Simpson as Wyman will bring Stovall with him. As Stovall will quickly go back to the top side off the exit of turn number 2. As your race leaders now beginning to work their way into lap traffic as Logan Martin at the line. does away with the first lap car of the night. That's the 11 of Steve Johnson, who will quickly exit the racetrack. Next car in front of your race leader looks to be the 14 machine of Reed Millard.
Logan Martin, Billy, doing something that you don't often see leaders do in lap traffic. He's extending his lead. 2 laps ago, it was 0.9 of a second. A lap ago, it was 1.1 seconds. Now it's a second and a half as he is just wheeling through the lap cars.
He is really hustling that number 36 down through the groove. You can see him really throwing it into the corner, but now Jake Neal going to duplicate that move, and all of a sudden Jake Neal closing the gap down the back straightaway. He's going to close it up once again down into turn number 3. Logan Martin going to have to make a quick decision. He will drive down to the inside of Reed Millard. Can he steal the spot, put him a lap down into 1? Looks like he will, and that's putting another buffer between himself and Jake Neal.
Reed Millard really struggled with the handling on that new race car. He had to use a provisional to get in the field tonight, and almost on cue, Billy, he ends up bringing out the caution.
Worked his way from 20th. He sits in the 12th spot on the restart as Logan Martin takes us back underneath the green flag. Once again, Jesse Stovall, he's going to work that top side cushion through turns number 1 and 2. He'll take the Malvern Bank 00 up into the runner-up position around Joe Gorby. Gorby continues to circle the short way around, but that's the battle for second and third as Logan Martin continues to run out in front in his Cornet-powered XR1 Rocket, but a little bit of a stumble off the exit of turn number 2 for a couple of drivers. How about the slide job by Jesse Stovall? He takes it to the bottom side, but now he's all sorts of sideways. He'll regroup it. Jesse Stovall, new race leader, but Logan Martin not about to go away easily here on lap number 12.
Stovall's the first driver really that's tried to jump to the high side now. The way the track surface started the night, that top groove really wasn't there, but we've run enough laps now that Stovall is able to ride it around the rim, and he is racing away from Martin in the field.
He is racing away, and he is increasingly widening that gap, continues to push that cushion up as high as he can as he drives that Swafford Service 00 deeper and deeper each time. They're off the exit of turn number 2. He'll stretch it out quickly down the back chute. Here comes the 9 machine of Joseph Gorby. J.C. Wyman also having a good run as the 4 machine finds himself up into the 4th position, quickly closing ground on the 2nd and 3rd place running Logan Martin up on the top side. And Gorby, as Chad Simpson, your defending series champion, limps down the front straightaway. Simpson's night will come to an early end, but back up front, it is all Jesse Stovall. Jake Neal, the early race contender, is also heading pit side. Tough break for him tonight here at the Speedway.
Stovall has turned what was a half a second lead into almost a 2-second lead. Now is the 7J of Ryan Johnson's going to have to pull off the racetrack. Stovall now out 2 seconds in front of Logan Martin.
And he has done it, Corey, in the matter of about 6 laps. Quickly setting a blistering pace, about to find the backside of the field. Here was still 33 laps to go in tonight's feature event. Features currently inside the top 5, just 17 laps in. Don't count out Will Vaught. Took a provisional to get into this show, and he's 6-6 on the restart. And Jesse Stovall takes the lead, but how about the move by Mason Oberkramer, the driver out of Brosley, Missouri. Came through the consolation event tonight in that Longhorn chassis, pilots himself into the runner-up position on that restart. Will now try and hang on to the back bumper of Jesse Stovall. Stovall stout down the back straightaway, jumps right back up to that top side cushion. Oberkramer down to the bottom side. Gorby continuing to hang on to a podium position right now in a fight with fellow rookie driver Logan Martin for that 3rd and final podium spot. Martin continuing to work the top side of the racetrack, and right behind those two, you see him coming into view. That's going to be the 1V of Will the Thrill Vaught right on the back bumper of this battle as Gorby continuing to drive the G&G Dozer Schwartz chassis down to the bottom side as he will surrender that spot that time to Logan Martin. Both drivers go to the top side, but how about Will Vaught? He'll slide it in there, showing the rear quarter panel. Gorby tougher that time. He is able to hang on to that 4th position in car number 9.
Well, it only makes sense that everybody's heading to the top side now, Billy, because that is exactly where Jesse Stovall is just slaying the rest of the field. He was the first one to take it to the high side, and because of that, he's got a 2.6 second advantage over everybody else running.
Still 28 laps to go. Still some great racing action going on. As you said, Stovall out to almost a straightaway length advantage over Oberkramer at this point. He's going to quickly start to see lap traffic coming into play here in the next handful of laps. As we continue to watch Will Vaught make his march through the field, current MLRA point leader, took the provisional motor troubles in heat race action, only made a couple of laps in the B main event. And he started in the 20th position, finds himself currently running in position number 4. Tell you what, Corey, that's a guy right there that would love to see a caution fly on this race.
Oh, I understand that. And what amazes me is how he took care of his equipment. You said it earlier. He's only got one bullet in the gun tonight. He's got this one car, no backup motor, but he took it easy early in the night and has found himself a top 5 running order, but it's going to take a caution to close down the gap between he and Stovall. That Captain American shield on the top of the 00 is slinging its way around the diamond of dirt tracks.
Jesse Stovall is definitely slinging things around there tonight in pursuit of this Larry Phillips Memorial Coveted Award. He works his way around John Benning and the lap traffic down the back straightaway. It's about to get a little intense for Stovall. You got some cars running double side by side up right in front of him, one of those being J.C. Wyman, who's doing everything he can to remain on the lead lap in that 4 car. But good battles continue throughout, including Gorby again now battling with the 91 of Jason Papich.
Will Vaught now, Billy, making a move around the 36 as the Thrill has pulled up alongside the West Plains native. They're 3 wide with lap traffic coming off of turn number 4.
Vaught going to make it interesting down to the inside. Logan Martin going to try and keep him pinched to the bottom side of the racetrack. And, you know, right now, Vaught really the only driver able to make that bottom side work. You see Oberkramer going to be in a similar bottom side groove right in front of him off the exit of turn number 4. Good run for Logan Martin off the top side of the corner, but nonetheless, Will Vaught now up on your podium after starting 20th with the yellow out. Driver out of Billings, Missouri, former series champion, picked up the win. Last time the MLRA went to battle at the Salina High Banks, and looking to go back-to-back is not a good restart for Will Vaught as he will slip back to the 4th spot. Good restart for Jesse Stovall, once again able to get out in the clean air. Put some distance between himself and second running Oberkramer, who now has a little bit of breathing room between himself and Will Vaught. Vaught back to the top side, position number 3. Quickly drive back around the outside of Oberkramer, using that top side momentum. Driver, the Clements-powered XR1 Rocket, back to position number 2. Looks like he's bringing Jason Papich in the 91 machine with him. Papich will slide the line up on the inside, not going to wait. He's going to try and get a nose up along the inside of Jesse Stovall on that start. Not able to grab much momentum, but a great restart once again for Oberkramer, who he'll lose control, lose the front end of that race car. He had to chase it, but now he's back at it. The battle for third is going on, but just like last time, here goes Jesse Stovall out in the clean air and quickly putting distance between himself and the rest of the field.
In one lap, he manages to grow it to a 1.3 second advantage. Oberkramer now falling back to Vaught as you see the 1V dive to the inside of the track, slide up in front of Oberkramer, and Vaught soundly in second place now as everybody chases Stovall.
Got to wonder if Jesse Stovall has a chance to watch this race. He's going to see how exciting it was in his rearview mirror, because if it wasn't for Jesse Stovall, we'd have a whale of a race on our hands with Will Vaught back there in the second spot. But, you know, only a handful of laps. You see some hard charging through the field. Will Vaught up 12 positions. Mason Oberkramer up 12. Both drivers came out of the B feature or took a provisional. So a lot of hard charging going on here tonight's 50-lap A main event with just 14 laps to go.
Stovall, Vaught, Martin, Papich, the top 4, but there is jockeying for position back behind the 00 as the 36 of Logan Martin goes around the top of the track and they slide up in front of him. He has to check up as the 91 of Papich was just flying through the turn.
Logan Martin playing the role of the nice guy that last time by, letting the 91 of Papich slide up, take that third position away. Now Martin's going to have to try and fight to get himself back on that podium here tonight as Stovall quickly runs his way again down the back straightaway, closing in on the 14 of Reed Millard, maybe the only lap car that he may have to contend with if we go green from here on out.
And as he enters turn number 1, Will Vaught comes out of turn number 4. A full straightaway in darn near 4 seconds now. The lead for Stovall as he'll put Millard another lap down.
Clean air making the difference right now for Jesse Stovall, and not a whole lot of contests going on for the 00 machine. Vaught now has his hands full with Jason Papich, who continues to have a great run. The driver out of California, making just his second Lucas Oil MLRA start of the season, finds himself working over the back bumper.
The green flag goes up and the hammer goes down for Jesse Stovall.
Stovall to the point, but there's a shot by Will Vaught, and that may have been the one and only shot he will get tonight. He'll have to regroup, drive back down to the bottom side, as now Jesse Stovall, for the first time tonight, seems like he's feeling a little bit of pressure from the 1V machine of Vaught. Pressure with 9 laps to go. Papich back in the 3rd spot, but yellow will
lapping earlier.
Drastic change, and they're going to have about 1 shot the way it looks to me, and that's going to have to be on this restart down into turn number 1. They're going to contest it down into 1. Here comes Vaught. Will slide up to the inside of Stovall, but not able to get him cleared. Let's go ahead and stretch the rubber band, because there goes Jesse Stovall. Right back to the top side. It's going to be side by side off the exit of 4. Little contact with the wall, looks like possibly on the 1 machine of Will Vaught. He has ripped the right rear spoiler portion off that car. As you can see, it's starting to hang on the backside and flop a little bit. You got to wonder, that may hurt the handling just a little bit of that 1V machine of Will Vaught in the closing laps.
It may have opened the door now for the 91, Jason Papich, closing in on the 1V of Will Vaught. You see that spoiler kind of tearing off, and the 91 dives to the bottom of the racetrack, slides up in front, but can he hold the line in front of the point leader?
Jason Papich will take that spot away with just 6 laps to go. Now Papich will jump the cushion, give it right back to him. Down the back straightaway, it's all Jesse Stovall showing the way. He's almost built it back up to a half a straightaway length lead with just 5 laps to go to capture this year's Larry Phillips Memorial. $5,075 on the line, but at the point off the exit of 4, another great start off the exit. This time it'll be a single file restart, and he quickly puts some daylight between himself and Will Vaught. He won't even give Will Vaught a chance to make a move down into turn number 1. Jason Papich will take the shot down into turn number 3 to try and get back to the inside of Will Vaught. Looks like the race for second, maybe the race on the racetrack, because Stovall once again pounding that cushion and distancing himself from Will Vaught. Jason Papich, Logan Martin, and Joe Gorby, your top 5. 3 laps coming by the stripe this time. Stovall looking for his second Lucas Oil MLRA victory of the season. We'll coast back into the top side. No traffic in front of your race leader for the final 2 circuits. Time is winding down on the 1V machine of Vaught. He's doing a great job hanging on to that car into the 2nd position, with Papich continuing to hold on to that final podium spot. But the white flag about to fly for the driver of the Swafford Service Malvern Bank 00. One more time around for Jesse Stovall. Stovall, he's going to jump a little bit higher than normal that time on the cushion. He's got a little bit of a buffer, but he's going to bring it home. Final time through the top side of the Lucas Oil Speedway. Your 2019 feature winner, Larry Phillips Memorial. It's going to go home with Jesse Stovall.
Didn't even win his heat, but he passed 7 cars. That earns him the right to start from the pole position as the green flag is in the air. Press down on the noisemaker, and the field of B-Mods go roaring into turn number 1. And all of a sudden, Tim Phillips has plenty of company from the outside as Earl Pryor, a heat race winner, passing 3 cars in his heat race. He'll lead lap number 1. Phillips falls back to 2nd, and then Rex Harris in the 30R holds on to 3rd, but he's got plenty of company from Andy Bryant on the outside. The 28 goes roaring past him on the right-hand side. Corey, as the night has gone along, there have been some other races here at Lucas Oil Speedway. All through the heats, all through the Bs, the top line was not productive for anybody, but as the 2 prior features took place, that high line has started to work, and Andy Bryant has used it to perfection as he gets past Tim Phillips. Rex Harris goes by the wayside as he drifts up high on the track. His car comes to a standstill over in
Those are for winners.
Jeez, really? Well, we'll see who will win this one as Earl Pryor on the point will have the 28 on his outside in no time, and Andy Bryant topside has his nose clipped off, but a crossover move by Andy Bryant, the Fort Scott, Kansas native. Can he make that line stick as he goes way to the high side? Got up and nearly went over the edge himself, and that opened the door for Earl Pryor again, who has gone down on the low side. That high line, Andy Bryant loves it, and every time he goes off of a turn, it just kind of catapults him ahead of the field. He has a nose out in front on the backstretch, and now off of turn 4, he'll have a nose out in front as they cross the start-finish line.
Pryor not giving up any ground, though, but boy, he brings the back tire off the ground, and Andy Bryant is going to get away clean now from the 57. Bryant in search of his third feature win at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks this season. Pryor went on another wild ride, and the caution comes out yet again.
Gets bunched up nose to tail again as the green flag will fly, and Andy Bryant this time is able to check away from Earl Pryor as Pryor goes bouncing over into turn number 1, and that opens the door for Tim Phillips. Phillips was able to go a line lower than Earl Pryor was, stay out of a couple of ruts, and now he is able to battle back side by side. J.C. Newell back in the 83. He passed 5 cars in his heat race, worked his way up to a top 5 position. Now Eric Turner, he was a heat race winner. He had to start even further back than Andy Bryant did after not improving any positions at all in his heat race, and he has gotten up into the mix, as that's a fight for second now between the 99 of Eric Turner and the 57 of Earl Pryor. Pryor from the St. Louis area, runs Peevely, goes over in Illinois and runs a handful of races throughout the year. Only comes to Lucas Oil Speedway in big shows. We saw him here last year a couple of times whenever they had so much rain in the St. Louis area. He said he was tired of running in the mud. That was pretty much all he did in St. Louis for a handful of weeks. He comes down to Lucas Oil Speedway, and he has found his own calling here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks. He loves the way that this track runs, and he is able to run that high side right behind that 99 of Eric Turner.
Eric Turner loves the way this dirt track runs. The feature winner his last time out 2 weeks ago was able to put that 99T in victory lane. But right now, while he and Earl Pryor do battle, all the while Andy Bryant is running away. 2.9 seconds, almost 3 seconds to lead now for the young driver from Fort Scott, Kansas, but Racy back behind him. As you see Bryant now leading him around, Eric Turner, Earl Pryor, and J.C. Newell all jockeying for position back second, third, and fourth.
There you see Andy Bryant check out of the screen. Next in line is Eric Turner, and then there's Earl Pryor again, just continuing to plow his way over in turns 1 and 2. You see mud fly up from the front of that car after he digs in and just tears up chunks of the track every time he does that, and he loses ground whenever he digs in, as the 83 of J.C. Newell is able to reel him in little by little. There is now the battle for third, as Turner well out in front of Earl Pryor, and nobody is even close to Andy Bryant now, as it is a 3.5 second advantage for the Fort Scott, Kansas native.
Who does he think he is? Does he think he's Kenny Carroll?
Yeah, the ditch digger. He is the track digger right now. There you see Andy Bryant, the Fort Scott, Kansas native, has won here twice this season, back on April 27th. He then won again on August 3rd. He went to Fort Scott Community College last year studying plastics, and then Pittsburgh State, which is not too far away from his hometown, is his final destination and where he wants to graduate whenever he finally does pick up that degree.
So he's looking to be a gorilla.
He is we call him the Gorillas, and he is going here tonight, as he is now builded up to a 3.1 second advantage. A couple of cars checking into the infield. Dayton Pursley off the track. So is Jacob Cox. As you see, Earl Pryor hit another rut and shoot straight up the track. That allows the youngster from Camdenton, Missouri, Mitchell Franklin, in that F1 ride to get underneath him. Mitchell Franklin has had some success this year as well. Only one top 5. He finished 8th in the points, but he has become the darling of this division, if you will, as he has become a fan favorite. His dad, Josh, works on a number of cars. Not only does he work on that car, he works on some of the street stocks that run here on a regular basis. And now with 4 laps left, Mitchell Franklin has himself his second top 5 finish of the year if he can hang on to that 4th spot.
Remember, this is a young man that's only been running in a B mod since 2017. This young man, though, is leading the pack by a large margin, 3.5 seconds, and growing. Andy Bryant, your race leader, out in front of Eric Turner in the 99 TJC Newell running in 3rd, and then Mitchell Franklin, who we were just talking about, running in 4th. Clint Johnson, Shane, you talked about him early in the heats. The 37's got a top 5 spot right now as the white flag comes out.
So Andy Bryant, a 2-time winner this year, looking for win number 3. No one won more than he did back in 2015 as the B-Mod champion for the United States Racing Association, and he will fly off of turn number 4, pick up win number 3.
We'll get to say win. The 94 slow rolls the field, puts the hammer down and fires down the front stretch here. Gets a good jump on the 32 of Adams. As the green flag goes up here, Redis in that red and white wagon going all the way around the top of the track, and he finds himself in 2nd place.
Boy, what a great job by Richard Adams, who started outside pole. He got just rammed by Bobby Orenberg, and he was able to hang on to it as he cut through the grass, keep it straight. He lost a lot of track position as he is now midway through the pack now, but a good job of just hanging on to it. As JT Carroll now has plenty of company with Redis back behind him. JT Carroll, the class of the field through the heat races, improving 8 spots. And we know from past experience, whenever these guys came here the first time, that station wagon from James Redis, extremely fast now. He has his hands full with Randy High looking to the inside.
High from Ash Grove, Missouri. He ran 2nd to Redis the last time the Pure Stocks ran here at Lucas Oil Speedway. He has been a winner at Springfield. Redis is a multi-time winner at Springfield. They go side by side down the back straightaway as they enter turn number 3, giving chase to the 94 of JT Carroll. Carroll going to probably find his first lap car of the race as he's got a 2-second lead over Redis and Randy High. High in the 51 has the number 2 spot right now over Redis. The red and white wagon now will bring it to the bottom of the racetrack. Try to get a good run off of turn number 4. High holds on to the number 2 spot. Norman Mackley back behind them in 4th. Dylan Bowman, the top 5 in the running order here. 5 laps down, 15 laps to go for the Pure Stocks.
Boy, I really thought that bobble there by Randy High might have done him in off of turn 2, but he was able to gather it back in and just jet right back past Redis. And then you look on back to the battle for 4th now as the 32.
Carroll, Redis, and High let it roll through at turn number 4. And they get going with the green flag. JT Carroll pulls away from the driver from Springfield, Missouri, as he gets a good run down the backstretch. A multi-time winner at Lake Ozark, poised for a points championship there. This is a guy, Shane, that only has been racing for 2 years, but doing well right now in the 94.
Yeah, and right now for both of those cars out in front, it's about hitting marks and learning the track. The night has had a number of laps put on it. There are starting to be some bumps, some grooves, some ripples, some ruts, and now just trying to navigate your way through each turn. You can see that track is kind of beat up, and if they can get through unscathed, they've got a pretty good chance, but all it takes is hitting the turn wrong one time, getting you out of the groove, pointing your nose towards the wall, and it really opens the door for anybody up behind you.
With this single file restart, everybody started nose to tail, and a little bit of racing back deep in the field. Robert High in the 333 trying to get around everybody because everybody's chasing the 94 of JT Carroll.
Second generation driver is JT. Kenny Carroll, his dad, runs in the street stock division, had a good run earlier on, and now JT Carroll with the fastest lap and no doubt out front, 19.46 seconds, turn laps, and This is a track that anytime you can get sub 20 seconds, you're doing something pretty good, as anyone behind Carroll is running in the 20s right now.
James Redis behind him by 1.2 seconds, over 3.5 seconds back to the 51 of Randy High, as he currently rides in third place. High out of Ash Grove, Missouri. A good run the last time the Pure Stocks were here. He was a top 2 finisher. Right now we've got 8 laps to go as we've cleared the midway point. Cars jockeying for position down the front stretch. Dylan Bowman there in the 69, sponsored by Firehouse Subs, wheels it off of the far side of the track. He currently sits in 4th with Bobby Orenberg in the 123 behind him in 5th now with 7 laps remaining.
Continuing to click laps off here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Again, these Pure Stocks not really accustomed to running here, so for them to be able to come out and turn
to the pack, JT Carroll leads the pack off of turn number 4 as he puts his foot to the floor, gets a good jump on Redis and High, and will lead him around through turns 1 and 2. Carroll at one time this season had just a stranglehold on the Pure Stock category at Lake Ozark. He won 6 straight features, Shane, a total of 7. Has himself poised for a track championship there.
Well, he's got to be able to hang on to it first, and you saw a little bit of a bobble there off of turn 2 as Redis was unable to capitalize on that. Now JT Carroll will go a little bit higher on the track, trying to avoid some of the ruts that have developed there in the middle of the track. As the night has gone along, the higher groove has become more prevalent, but these guys like to stay on the bottom side, and it has served well for JT Carroll.
Carroll, Redis, High run 1, 2, 3. Orenberg, Robert High, and Norman Mackley go 4, 5, and 6 as the 707 of Steve Larinko off the pace. And he has taken it up to the cushion. Is going to go back behind the wall now as JT Carroll has a lap and a half between he and a feature win here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks as a car goes spinning into the infield. The 14 sees the white flag fly. The 94 is hammered down here. JT Carroll, a 7-time winner at the Lake in the last feature here, did not finish. Tonight, he is a heat race winner going from 9th to 1st, and he is a feature winner as he takes the checkered flag in front of James Redis,